I fucked the timer. 15 minutes is too long. What's wrong with me? Where's my camera? Why do I have the camera? Where is the game? I keep saying I need to get a new webcam, and I don't get a new webcam. Instead, I got a new fucking mouse pad. So, that's just me. Yo. What up, gang? No, not this. That is the wrong thing. Where are my prime times on Sunday? I'm trying to get to the point where I can actually even tell people that yes. I'm trying to get to the point where I can consistently beat Minos first try. Hold on. Let me just quickly do some boosting like that. There we go. Now the game is fucked. That's the wrong limit. Game capture. There we go. There we go. That's on. That one's up for me. What the fuck? The FPS is always shit when I stream, and the reason is because I'm streaming. Oh my god, what the fuck? Hold on, I can do this. We'll just do it like that. There we go. 720p. That's fine, right? 720p is fine for you guys, right? Like, shit, I took all the guys. Harry! Oh shit. That was unintended. Okay, alright. My fastest is 3 minutes on standard, and I don't know how I pulled that off. I think I started off with a corkscrew blow, so we'll do that this time. There we go, that's 4 eyes. And then we will. Oh, I missed. No, I'm not supposed to miss that. Oh my god, what am I doing? Yeah, the bad thing is I'm not good at improvising. I just have this like thought out plan at the start of every prison fight, and then I'm done. I swear, prison is like harder than Minos, so you know. Whoa! Ooh! Mm. Alright. I cooked up some minced meat and scrambled eggs right before stream. Literally, I hit stream and then went to the kitchen and fried these two things up together. So that's. Oh my god, that's too hot. There's no way I do that at that temperature. I put the reason why it's so hot is because I put it back. Is the game too loud? Oh, you can't hear the game. Fuck my life. Okay. Why didn't you guys tell me that? You tomfools. Okay, alright. Okay. Okay. Fuck my life. Okay. Okay. In other news, Australia is set to introduce two very concerning bills. One that restricts the free speech of children, and one that restricts free speech in general. So, we'll see where that one goes. I might make a YouTube video on that. Woo! But yeah, so since I am 16, I will be doubly screwed, you know. I was hoping that when I grew up in Australia, when I became an adult, I'd be able to actually, like, you know, say what I want to say. But it seems that that privilege has been removed. Australia is mostly screwed because the disinformation bill that they're passing, they're like, oh, we can hold social media companies accountable. What they're doing is they're actually attacking Twitter because they have this community notes thing, and community notes is whenever politicians lie, community notes just steps in. And this is mostly Australian politicians, mind you. This is mostly Australian politicians being community noted, and I guess they don't like being told that they can't when they are. You know, imagine getting caught lying on the internet. Oh, fuck off. Screwed up, I screwed up, I screwed up. You know, they even supposedly released a study saying that the majority of Australians don't know the difference between the truth and the lie. 80% was the exact statistic that they provided. The Labours are also, for some reason, pushing desperately hard to stop a bill that removes, you know, gender, redefines what a man and a woman is. I haven't read that bill. I believe it was written by Polly Davidson. But oddly enough, they've just decided to stop even the first reading. They just don't want it to be read in the first place. No consideration. Which I'd say is not common. I'm not gonna say it's like impossible for that to happen, but also because this is such a niche. It's such a the reason I can't really tell why they did it. Why would they? It's a bit of an oddball. Oh my fucking god. Ah, okay. What? The fuck just happened? Okay. Um. I mean, like, let's be fair. Ever since Albanese got into government, bad things have happened. You know. I would actually be willing to forgive Scott Morrison for dipping out of the country when there were national bushfires going on and taking a holiday, because at least he didn't raise the immigration rate to an unsustainable rate, and then say to the Australian public, "Oh, I will reintroduce it." It was your fault that it got to an unsustainable rate in the first place. Why are you, then pointing the finger and being like, "Oh, we're gonna fix it." You're fixing the issue that you caused. Like, buddy, don't feel proud. This is not a thing you should be proud of, Albanese. You're fixing a problem that you caused because the Australian people are fucking you. Oh my god, die, help. Oh, I could just kill it. Let's be fair. There we go. There we go. Oh my god. I could never parry judgment. Oh, come on, that's just dumb. You shot the snake so close to me. Okay, you shot it when I turned around. Oh my fucking god. Fuck you, Minos. Fuck you. Yeah, so I can beat the bro. I can't just beat him well. That's the problem. I mean, like, I'm gonna go do something else once I beat Minos, because this is just my daily Minos. What if I try to core nuke? That sucked. I've seen so many speedrunners be like, "Oh, you should core nuke, you should core nuke." Maybe I core nuked wrong. They're probably not wrong when they say core nuking is a good idea, but also I suck at it. I could core nuke it, but it's where my core nuke goes. Or where I explode the core nuke. Because I'm not good at hitting things out of midair. You just hate me. Alright. Which one are you monkeys? I think this side. Okay, that is my stream. Someone bring me. Okay, I have to. Screwdriver. That's 4 eyes. Down. You can basically just stand still. I need one more. One more. Okay. Oi, yoy. Why is my heart damage not reducing? Oh! Oh, fuck's sake. Where is it? Die. Just die. There we go. Fuck, I'm out. Forget this shit. Screwdriver. I missed my screwdriver, didn't I? I'm pretty sure just there I. Oh. Of course you do that. Stay still and let the snake hit you. There we go. Walked right into the fucking sword trap. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. And that. Hey! Fucking me AO time! That's crazy! Oh my god, my camera. Fuck you, camera. Fuck this camera. Oh my god, I got an A on time. It's not. Oh, that's fine. Alright, guys, now let's go to more serious topics. Let's talk to Just Chatting. There we go. Just Chatting. Misinfobel. So let's talk about this, because I have been actively threatened by the government to have my free speech taken away, and so are all of the Australians watching right now. Give me a moment for Free Drakes to start up. On this PC, it takes anywhere between 30 to 45 seconds. Low down. Basically, what the disinformation bill means is that the government will be able to monitor social media platforms and, other things like protesting. They will be able to, arrest anyone who has a sign that is a lie, or, take down any media post that they deem to be inaccurate, whether intentionally inaccurate or unintentional. Misinformation means unintentional, disinformation means intentional. And they have two separate, ways of punishment. Which is literally suppression of free speech. Well, I know that Australia does not explicitly state that there is free speech. There's no constitution in Australia that specifically says it. But you'd think that it's implied in the very least. It is an implied free speech. That free speech, I'm just saying. Bro. Misinformation. Bill. Let me find this draft for you guys. Here we go. The communications legislation. I believe it is an amendment combating misinformation and disinformation 2024. So after this bill gets passed, I will not be able to. Well, OBS is about to crash. My fault. Cool. Wait. Okay, there we go. So this is the communications legislation. Let me put this on full screen just so everyone can see. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the minister's second reading speech. Why is my bitrate acting? The Minister for the Communications. This is their speech. I know I had a couple of things I wanted to highlight, but now looking at this, you guys probably have no idea what this is. The bill will increase transparency and accountability. You'd think that looking at, X, the way Elon implemented community nodes, you'd think that was, increasing transparency and accountability. I think that. Hold on, let me start TTS. Where is it? Is my TTS still here? Yeah, there we go. If you guys have anything you want to say, if you want to interject, if there's points you want to make, if you think I made any mistakes in interpreting this bill reading and the interpretation that I have of the Minister of Communications, please feel free to comment. But here we go. The rapid spread of seriously harmful mis- and disinformation poses a significant challenge to functioning and societies around the world. Democratic countries like Australia rely on free flow of information to inform public debate, and the integrity, diversity, reliability of information is fundamental to our democratic way of life. You say that, and then you have this bill to stop us to stop the free flow of communication. The rapid spread of seriously harmful mis- and disinformation poses a significant challenge to the functioning of societies around the world. What does what we say have to do with the rest of the world? If I make a post on Twitter saying that this bill sucks in Australia, I don't expect someone from France to be like, actually, democratic countries like Australia rely on the. I read that already, didn't I? Yeah. Like this disinformation about the stabbing attacks in Bondi Junction and recently in Southport, UK, are two. So, UK, can someone interpret this for me? Is this Australia or is this the United Kingdom? It's interesting that you're referencing something. And also, disinformation about the stabbing attacks in Bondi Junction. There was a stabbing attack in Bondi Junction. This is not misinformation, I believe. But you know what? For the sake of it, let me just quickly go search that. Here we go. It was not misinformation. These people are implying that this did not happen, that the stabbing did not happen. You've already lied in the bill. You have already, straight up, in the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs, if this even counts as a paragraph, why the fuck is every sentence on a separate line? In the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On the 8th sentence, you have just lied to the Senate. Not the Senate, to Parliament. There's been a sharp increase in Australians' concern about misinformation, according to Digital News Report Australia 2024. Okay, let's find out who this is and find out why they are biased. Oh, University of Canberra Analysis and Policy Observatory. Okay. The ABC. Oh, no, don't say ABC. Why would you do that? This research by the News and Media Research Centre at the University of Canberra shows concern has risen to 75% and is well above the global average. Similarly, the Australian Media Literacy Alliance on Adult Media Literacy, released in August 2024, highlights that 80% of Australians want the spread of misinformation in Australia to be addressed. But how did you acquire this information? Especially since Australian media is the reason why that the spread is the reason of the spread of misinformation. I'm not even kidding. Media like 7 News, 10 News, all of the Murdoch press. I'm just saying, everything that falls under the scope of the Murdoch press, and basically everything, all of traditional media is the cause of this, not social media. You could just pinpoint and look at it and say TikTok. Oh, look, harmful. Then take your kids off it. TikTok doesn't let kids on there. Make sure you're watching your children. And make sure they're playing video games instead of looking at social media. I'm just saying, video games help improve your children's hand-eye coordination at the small minor risk of addiction. I'm just saying, would you rather your kid be addicted to social media or be lied to by the government? It's a lesser of two evils. I'll leave that up to you to decide. The AMCA Minister blah 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 blah. In Australia, the digital platform industry has taken an important first step to address the threats posed by the spread of harmful and disinformation online through development of the voluntary Australian Code of Practice on misinformation. But this effort is not enough. They're already combating it. And I would just like to highlight what's going on in America. I don't know when the first reading of this was, but this is definitely being bolstered. They're definitely hurrying this one along, so that Australians can't stop this in its tracks. I haven't heard many traditional medias talking about it. In fact, there are no traditional medias talking about. Hold up, let's search this up. Just make sure this info and this info. Okay. Now we go to news. So there's the ABC. Who downplays it so hard. Media watchdog, meaning the fucking government. Insurance, because insurance want to get paid more. You have LSE Home. No, Bill. We'll put Bill at the end of it. The Daily Oz. Can you see how here? Australian fascists. There we go. Oh look, and here we go. Sky News. Thank you. Sky News actually released a good media report. SBS. I do not see anywhere here. Where the fuck is 7 News? Okay, you know what? 7 News. Here we go. There's Parliament attacking Elon Musk for saying that this Parliament are fascists. Let's go to say 10. 10 didn't even report on this. And then let's go to ABC. They'd call it media watchdog. Government declares war on big tech. On seriously harmful and verifiably false. They're playing this down. The media is playing this down so hard, you know. And then you go on like Twitter, and there are people telling the truth. Because what does this let the government do? Here we go. Through this bill, debate adjourned. This is just one person's speech, and then the debate is adjourned. Nobody. The bill will allow the ACMA. Let's find out what this is. Federal government office. Here we go. Here we go. It didn't even take that long. It's a federal government office that can control what is correct and not correct. You might think I'm blowing this out of proportion, but this is literally an attack on the implied free speech that we have in Australia. They are unimplying it. If this bill gets passed, there will no longer be an implied free speech. There is no free speech. The government can just arrest you for making a Facebook post. In the UK, that gets ridiculed. But if this passes, if you ridicule the government for arresting you over a Facebook post, they will arrest the person who made that post and everybody who shits on the government for making that arrest. It's sickening that this is even being considered. And the reason why that they're pushing it so hard is so that you can't talk shit about the government anymore. If you do that, you're going to jail. You're going straight to federal court. The FBI will turn up at your house if you make a public statement about the government that is demeaning, and boom, it's gone. Think about it. Jordan Shanks' channel. Jordan Shanks is going to get immediately arrested if this bill gets passed. It's not even a question. The Boy channel, gone. They'll have to take down that video they made about what's it called, Pine Yap, and all the other videos they made. What they're attempting to do is what they're doing is they're suppressing social media and feeds like YouTube where you can get good news, and they want to force you to look at traditional media because the government can control that traditional media, and we're seeing it because nobody is reporting on this. This is I personally think this would be a major bill if they passed it. It would there are so many social media companies, and I think I like looking at Twitter because of the verifiably correct news. The public can actually community note something if somebody has made an incorrect statement. For example, Logan Paul and Lunchly. Logan Paul KSI Mr. Beast. Well, Mr. Beast didn't get community noted, but because he didn't lie in his post. But when Logan Paul said that there was 400 milligrams of electrolytes in his drink, I believe that's what it is anyway. 400 milligrams or something. The community notes corrected him. And then afterwards, Logan Paul went into a debate with community notes, which is not a smart thing to do. But the point is that social media companies, especially when you're attacking Elon Musk, there's a reason why the parliament is specifically attacking Elon Musk after he responds. And it is because that his platform is allowing the correct speech to be made. It is allowing for fact checking. It is allowing for correctness. When someone gets community noted, you can trust that 99% of the time it's going to be correct, and the other 1% of the time is shitpost community notes reacting to satire. Because people thinking community noting, what the fuck are underneath? I mean, is funny, but that is 1%. I have never actually seen a shitpost community note. This bill will impose core transparency obligations, requiring them to be upfront about what they're doing on their services to combat misinformation and disinformation. Hold on, let me snooze the ads. So, Actually, I'm gonna turn off ads for this stream because you know what? I don't care about the new ads manager. Turn the ads off. So I'd say for some companies, this could be applicable. Could be a keyword. It could be applicable. You know, just like you can say companies could do more. But, you know, these companies have absolutely no obligation to combat misinformation and disinformation. They could have no moderation system. They just like let people post child porn on their sites. They're not going to do that because that would be illegal. But I'm saying other things. They could just let people lie on their site. When digital platforms will be required to publish their current media literacy plan, setting out the measures they will take. But on digital platforms to identify and respond to misinformation, disinformation to make more informed choices about how to engage with content. The bill will also allow the ACMA to create digital platform rules with additional transparency obligations, including in relation to media literacy plans, risk management plans, complaints, and dispute handling processes. Who's going to be complaining and disputing? The government. When someone makes shit up. When some parliament, when some official decides to make some shit up saying that the media is lying, they're gonna go to the ACMA, make a complaint, and that post is gonna be taken down, and the person who made the post is gonna get arrested for it. True or not? Information gathering and record keeping powers. And here we go. The ACMA is farming your information so they can remember if you did shit and talk shit about you afterwards. Importantly, the bill provides protection for Australian end users. Boom, boom. So, will not be required individuals to produce information or documents to ACMA except whether they are a platform employee, a content moderator, a fact checker, or a person providing services to the provider of the digital platform. So this is so that they can track who works there. So if the business tries to dodge, they can just put any of these throw under any of these under the bus, and then they can make themselves, and then it'll make the company look bad. If Elon tries to pull out of Australia because of this bill, they're gonna shit on him. Under the bill, the ACMA would have the power to approve codes and make standards to compel digital platform services to prevent and respond to mis and disinformation. Well, let's once again look at X. X has a highly effective way of doing that, and it's called letting the rest of the world decide. There's always going to be an expert. In those community notes, you have to write the corrected fact and put one source, at least one source, to that fact. A code of standards could include obligations to cover matters such as reporting tools, links to authoritative information, support fact checking. It already does that. And the demonetization of disinformation. You are demonetized by default when you get community noted. If you're community noted in the next, you are demonetized. I don't know about much of the other social media platforms, but I'm assuming this includes Discord. So basically, now whenever I go on Discord, this is why Discord is implementing end-to-end call encryption, but they're not going to do it for messages. Actually, I don't know that for a fact. No, don't take my word for it. I don't need a pirate software video about me. I don't know anything. This is my opinion. Okay, this is my opinion. Don't take my word for it. But I'm going to say this is why Discord won't do it, because they want to look good with the government. But there's a better way of doing it, WeChat. It's encrypted until you report it. And you know why Discord's thing also doesn't work? Because you can just delete the message and it can't be reported. And it's the same with WeChat, but at least it's encrypted. In the event that industry efforts to develop or implement have not been effective, or the AMCA would have the power to make an enforceable standard. There we go. So, at the willy-nilly of the ACMA, which is a federal office, presumably controlled by federal candidates, not candidate, controlled by parliament members, they can just willy-nilly snap away all your accounts. You know, friendly Geordies, gone, bye-bye. You know, if you know the labels, the Labours, the Liberals, the Greens, the Independents, and one nation, the fishing group, fishing, mining, whatever they are, and legalize cocaine group. What other parties are there? I forget. But if any of them just want to, like, buy friendly Geordies, we don't like what you're saying about the government. Boom, there we go. His channel's gone. His social media's gone. He's locked up in jail for speaking out against the government. And this could include other things, all these senators, they're being, funded by big corporations, and big corporations come under attack, they can just go, "Hey, senator, get rid of this guy for me," and boom, they're gone. So now, the government and big companies and rich people are now, if this bill gets passed, they will be immune to criticism. Literally immune to criticism. This bill has undergone considerable consultation with. No, it hasn't. I 100%. Oh, here we go. Stakeholders. I don't know what they mean by stakeholders. Sometimes these, including from digital platforms industry, legal and civil society groups, media and fact-checking organizations, and research and academic institutions. I can tell you that most of these probably told you not to do it. You probably paid them to make it look good. If it was up to them, if you had not paid them to make it, sound good, if you had not paid them to be on your side, they would not be on your side. And I am almost 100% sure, and this one I am almost 100% sure, that they've paid a whole bunch of shitty companies to be on their side. And I know this bill is going to get passed. This amendment is going to get passed, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. This is your last chance, literally. In the coming year, until this amendment is passed, it will be the last things you can say, and you can say them confidently that you are a free Australian. Before the amendment passes, I might make more stuff on this, but after the amendment passes, I'll just say the amendment got passed, and that's all I can say. Because if I say anything else, I'll get thrown in jail, and I would rather keep my mouth shut than get thrown in jail. If anyone else is dumb enough to fight the government, go on. I fought state government, and you know what? I now can't get a job because the state government is determined to make sure that I do not get hired by any New South Wales company. Which includes them going around with a big fucking sheet of names of people who don't attend school. You know why? Because they need you to attend school. If I want to go to TAFE, I have to go through school. If I want to get a job, I have to go through school. Yeah, that's another thing. That is another rabbit hole that I'll be going into, because just because I can't criticize the federal government doesn't mean I can't criticize the state. So I'll go into that rabbit hole after this bill gets passed. Because when it's going to get passed, you can assure 100% there's nothing the Australian public can do to stop this bill from getting passed. And we will not know this bill gets passed until it is passed and people start getting arrested. And then everybody who goes to protest after this bill gets passed, they will all get shot, basically. Or whatever the legal equivalent that is applicable in Australia under punishable offences, whatever punishable offences count as. In fact, me saying this, I don't even know if I can, after this bill gets passed, if I can be attacked for my prior offences. I'm taking a risk here by talking about this on a public platform, because if I could actually be arrested for criticizing the government before the amendment, which is quite possible, then right now, after this bill gets passed, this will be used as evidence, and I will get arrested. And it's unlikely the government's going to arrest me because I basically know ordinance on these sorts of matters. But I feel like it's just like not okay. It's gone through no consultation. Just like get rid of the consultation part. It is literally the meme from the Maxwell video. What's your source? The source is that I made it the fuck up. That's basically it. They made it the fuck up. There is no way to penalties, enforcement, and review of the legislation. The bill will enable ACMA to use a proportionate, graduated, and risk approach to non-compliance and enforcement. This may include the ACMA issuing formal warnings, remedial directions, infringement notices, injunctions, as well as pursuing civil penalties depending on the severity of the action. Criticizing the government will get you in jail. Elon Musk will have to pull out, is what that's saying. We don't want to. This is basically saying if social media is either the if social media companies either have to entirely ban criticism of big companies and the government, or just pull out of the country, which is exactly what they want social media to do. They don't want social media. They want traditional media because they can control traditional media. You know, to an extent, they can control social media by making up laws as they go. You know, like with Facebook, how Mark Zuckerberg recently announced that he was actually being controlled by the government. Digital platforms may be subject to civil penalties up to 5% of global turnover. So this is them. So this is then them, fucking dipping into other countries. This is basically war. You are taking because this income is taxed. I don't know if penalties from other countries reduce, the amount of income tax if that penalty is then again taxed. It's interesting. For breaches, the standard and up to 2% for codes. And I can tell you, if this is per penalty, X would have zero income because it's like, literally 5 seconds after the bill gets passed, there's going to be like 200,000 posts about this. And boom. However, they may be necessary in response to egregious and systematic breaches and failure to act. They are forcing social media companies to do something. They are not asking. They are no longer asking politely. If you do not censor speech, your platform is taking the shit. A bill requires triennial review of the operation of the legislation. A report of review must be tabled in the Parliament and must follow a period of public consultation and assessment on the legislation. This isn't gonna happen. If they're not saying anything about it now, on the second hearing, on the minister's speech, there will be no public consultation. They are going to pass a bill. I know this for sure. The public consultation will be in a small control group with a bunch of paid actors. That's when it's going to be. Just like almost every other bad amendment. In addition, the first review is required to consider the need for a scheme requiring platforms to give accredited independent researchers access to data relating mis and disinformation. This is to enable time for developments in international jurisdictions to form the appropriateness and effectiveness of this additional transparency measure. And this bill also requires blah blah blah. This bill also requires the government to tell the government how much lies the Australians have been told. Which will I'm telling you right now, these annual reports, if this gets passed, are going to be spoofed. They're going to be like, oh, you did not get lied to once by a single parliament member. You did not get lied to. All the social media posts that we took down that you just saw for a couple seconds. Hey, it's fake news. You know why? Because it's published by a federal office, and I know it's gonna be fake. There's no question on that. Let's go through all of the secondaries, which is 2 of them. Okay, that's it. What is this? I didn't read this. Here we go, protests. There we go. People who have all these people, don't give them a follow on Twitter. X condemns. Okay. Bills. Oh, this is just a bunch of random other things. Where? Actually, I want to see what does the bill suggest? Here you go. At the time of writing, and this is the second reading. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on Parliament, but I would think that there would be major reports on this by the second reading. No. The first reading, something like this should not even get past it. You used to, how they stopped Pauline Hanson from reading the gender identity thing. Stop the first reading of the gender identity thing. They should have stopped the first reading of that. No. What's the fucking Governor General doing here? Sitting around letting Albanese getting away with this. Fire Albanese for this. Fire him. I don't know who these people are, but they are certainly propagandists. Anyway. Because I love how they just hide it behind misinformation and disinformation. They just hide it behind the guise of, if you lie, you get in trouble. But it's not just lies. That's the problem. Oh my god, the government uses Microsoft Azure. Ew. What do you mean bad gateway? Oh god, they found out that I was talking about it, didn't they? Did it crash? Did this site crash? Invalid response. Give me. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna down this in case they take it down. This is not something that they want to take down. Yeah, you see this? The bill will empower ACMA to review the effectiveness of digital platform systems and processes, and will improve the transparency about measures platforms have in place to protect Australians from mis and disinformation on their services. A federal office. Let's remind ourselves. What is the ACMA? A federal office will have the power to review, in other words, decide if social media companies are censoring misinformation and disinformation. And what is misinformation and disinformation? Let's find out. Do they even define this in the bill? Do they define it at all in the bill? Yeah, I just want to know. Do they define what misinformation and disinformation is? It's just like what how do you get away with this? If it is not defined, that's just like Cracked. Oh my god, it's 73 pages. Oh yeah, because this is the bill. This is like this is what's gonna get passed. Of course, it's 72 pages. So what the second reading is now, I'm assuming, is that it's just like a breakdown of what it is. This is the, here we go. Sections 1 to 3, anything else will not be covered in by this table. Oh. The day after the icon will be royal sand, the day after. Where's the rest of it? There's 73 pages. Don't tell me it's 73 pages of blank shit. Okay, here we go. Simplified outline of schedule. Some digital communication platform providers are subject to requirements in connection with misinformation and disinformation. These platforms that make specified information publicly available, risk management, blah 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 blah. The ACMA also has a graduated set of powers in relation to ACMA. So the ACMA can already force these companies to, report on this, and can, like, subpoena these companies without subpoenaing them. Okay, here we go. Disinformation has the meaning given by subclause 13. Has the meaning given by subclause 5.3. What? They what? 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 Subclause 13? That's 2. Schedule. Where are the subclauses? Hello? Subclause 13. Wait, what? None. Alright, Gemini. Cook for me. What is subclause 13 communication? What is this called again? Communication legislation amendment. Okay. Subclause. That's completely wrong. I'm looking for the definition. Do not directly define ho ho. Okay, so they don't even define it. Fuck's sake. Where are these subclauses? I can't find them in the PDF. I am the official bill. I am reading first. I'm reading the official bill PDF. Can't find where the subclauses are. missing sub pools. So where are the sub? You say there is a sub pools, and then there is none. Is this bill just a scam? What does it mean? That doesn't help me. If anyone in chat knows how to find these sub clauses, I'll be out of here. Part 2. 11 objects. The object of this part are to enable end users to better understand the accuracy. We already know this. There's something called Google. Let's be real. If you want news, if you want to know how accurate it is, quote me, tweet it. Copy paste it into Twitter, and some dickhead will come along with a community note telling you whether you're right or wrong. And you'll find out easily, quickly. If it's a lie, you'll be community noted in like a week. Digital, blah blah blah. Division 2.5. A media sharing service that does not have an interactive feature. A digital service that the minister determines is an excluded service for misinformation purposes. Oh, here we go. Here's the sub clause. Meanings of misinformation and disinformation. And there goes my camera. Okay. For the purposes of this schedule, dissemination of content using a digital service is misinformation on the digital service if A. The content contains information and is reasonably verifiable as false, misleading, or deceptive, and B. The content is provided on the digital service to one or more end users in Australia, and C. The provision of the content on the digital service is reasonably likely to cause or contribute to serious harm, and D. The dissemination is not an excluded dissemination. I already find a problem here, because if it is reasonably verifiable as false, misleading, or deceptive, then that would mean they would get commented. There would be so many comments on it saying that they're wrong, because if it is reasonably verifiable as false, misleading, or deceptive, it means that you should be able to use common sense and be able to tell that it is wrong. And if you can tell something is wrong with common sense, then why do you have to? Then why does the government need to come in and censor it? What do they mean by reasonably verifiable as false, misleading, and deceptive, or deceptive? Especially since it is implied that anything that is, verifiably false, verifiable as false, misleading, or deceptive can be, verifiable. They put the word verifiable. That is my point. That is the entire point. The content is provided on a digital service to one or more end users. One or more. Okay. I mean, like, you think that would be lower if it is targeted Australia. It is. I'm surprised they didn't put that number into it. That's my point. They're not petty enough to put it into it because they know they get shit. The provision of the content on the digital service is reasonably likely to cause or contribute to serious harm. Now, define serious harm. What do they mean by serious harm? The provision of the content on the digital service is reasonably likely to cause or contribute to serious harm. But they haven't provided a definition for serious harm, which means the ACMA is allowed to define what serious harm is, and anything that serious harm could include, a picture of a guy cooking. Boom. Gone. There we go. That's just gone. I find it likely that they're not gonna actively go out and start attacking people using this, but they are 100% going to exploit it. Because if they started attacking people right after this, they would get overthrown very quickly. But, they are going to start abusing it. And slowly, this is going to come to light, and all the people who reported it are going to go to jail. And nothing will happen. Okay, now let's look at disinformation. For the purposes of this schedule, dissemination of content using a digital service is disinformation on the digital service if A. The content contains information that is reasonably verifiable as false, misleading, or deceptive, and B. The content is provided on a digital service to one or more end users in Australia, and C. The provision of the content on the digital service is reasonably likely to cause or contribute to serious harm, and D, the dissemination is not an excluded dissemination, and E, either the grounds to suspect the person disseminating or causing the dissemination of the content is of that intends that the content deceive another person, or the dissemination includes inauthentic behavior. Disinformation includes disinformation on or by or on behalf of a foreign power, meaning satire. Gone. No more satire. You can no longer post satire. You will not get to post satire because it would be causing the dissemination of content that suspect the person disseminating or causing the dissemination of the content intends that the content deceive another person. Because some dickhead parliament person out there, some angry senator is going to be like, they're lying in this post, even though it's clearly satire. This already happened in America, and it's going to happen in Australia. And I'm telling you that the misinformation part is going to be used a lot less than the disinformation part, because they can now define anything as disinformation, because it is basically impossible to prove that someone did not intentionally lie to you. It's also impossible to prove that they did lie to you. But when you go to court, when you go to federal court, when you get arrested by the FBI, you are guilty until proven innocent, and not the other way around. That is basically how it works in Australian federal courts. If you cannot prove that you did not do it, you are going to federal prison. And I've seen this happen over and over again. You know, whistleblowers. Anyway, yeah, that's another thing. This is designed to combat whistleblowers. You know, whistleblowers. This is a direct opposition to whistleblowers' rights. Is to prevent whistleblowers. This is another reason why they have this in there. You know, they can't say all these things. They can't say all the things that they're thinking onto here because people will read this. You know, this is to combat criticism, whistleblowers. That's the two that I can think of right now. And to be fair, you know, they're very bold. You know, they're being sneaky about it. They're hiding it under the radar, and they're doing it very well because no one's picked up that their free speech is about to get, you know, kaboom. There will be no public. You know, they're not going to put this to a vote. Amendments do not go to public vote. You see, there will be no consultation with the public about this amendment. This amendment will go through. There will be no opposition, and people who are the major criticizers, the people who pose the biggest threat to the government because they tell the truth, are gonna get arrested. And people like me, possibly. It's quite possible that they're not going to do anything because I have basically no audience. Nobody's listening to me. Nobody cares about me. I have one viewer, which is me. But still, it is quite possible. I have got the 1 year throne badge. Anyway, Australia's screwed. That's what I'm gonna say. This has gone through 2 years of debate, supposedly, but Australia is screwed. Australia is screwed. You know, they've started, you know, going into the deep parts, and you know, the following years will be the last years that you'll ever get to say I am a free Australia. Because after this bill gets passed, it is a good Australia becomes a communist. That's what it becomes. Thank you for listening to me rant for the past hour and 30 minutes, 10 minutes of which was the intro screen, and half an hour of which was Ultrakill. I will be putting this on YouTube at the risk of getting it taken down and demonetized, but I'm not monetized anyway. Who gives a shit? Um, if you guys would like to read this, I will put it in my. I will put it on my Discord. That's what I will do. I will do that now. I will do that now. Give me one quick moment. I will do that now. At everyone. So the first thing I read was the second reading, from the Minister of Communications. This is the one that I read first, and it's this one, this little bullshit, shitty little thing, where the minister literally just lies in on you know, literally the misinformation and disinformation about the stabbing attacks and blood identity. Someone got stabbed, you dipshit. I literally lied to Parliament. This is a barefaced lie. It's not misinformation or disinformation. It's horrifying how parliamentary minister can do that. You know, it's someone appointed by Albanese, so Albanese has to be credit for that. You know, fuck you, Albanese. Um, the ACMA, remember these people, shoot them. Don't shoot them. I do not condone anyone being shot. The voices in my head, they're getting stronger. Anyway. Yeah, it is a federal government in New South Wales. So I might actually go and. Ooh. What the fuck is a ring? That's a. Anyway, you see all this shit? Go to Twitter and go look up Rowland, Minister for Communications. Tweet out to her and say, "You're a fucking dipshit." That's what you should do. That is totally how it is. It's not bullying at all. I'm not a bully, I swear. But yeah, this is disappointing. And this was on the 12th of September. It is now the 20th. This is just sad. Yeah. Australia's screwed. The fact that this bill is going through means that Australia is about to no longer have free speech. Australia didn't have free speech, but you know, this is well, I'm just saying. I will keep these pinned. Yeah. We'll scroll down. Yeah, once again, they're not. You see how they say they got a consultation? There is no consultation. Australians clearly expect the government to act and to address this growing problem. This is what the Albanese. No! Australians expect you to fix the immigration problem! That is another lie! Australians don't expect you to address this. The only Australians expecting you to do this are the 5 Karens. Decisions are spread. I'm telling you right now, Elon Musk is ahead of you. Australian government, don't even try that one. One which threatens to undermine our civic discourse and democratic engagement and participation. There will be no democratic engagement and participation after this bill passes. Debate adjourned. Yeah, that's right. She stood up, said all that she needed to say. No one protested because no one in Parliament is going to protest against this because it means that their jobs are safe. The end. Alright. Time to play Town of Simulator. This is just some absolute bullshit. Australia's fuck GG. There we go. That's what we should say. Alright. Roblox. Oh, that's right. Game capture doesn't work on Roblox. I forgot this. Fuck my life. Roblox, so yeah. TDS just released a tower that is controlled by humans. You control it. It is a turret that is controlled by you. I feel like this is a good thing because now it enables you to actually target the high risk of zombies rather than fucking around. It's actually horrifying that this game has so many assets that it takes this long to load. sake. There we go. First thing I went on, but that's right, guys. I have a GT600 graphics card. You know what? Actually, I'm just gonna end stream. I'm too pissed to deal with. I'm just like not in it right now. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna go raid something. This should be raid / raid person. Then yeah. This should be raid. Let us raid a role game. Why not? / raid a role games. Why is the / raid? Come on. Fuck my life. You know what? Actually, let's not raid because clearly the raid function isn't working right now. Oh my god, what is that? Time depending, I don't know if it's why doesn't the dashboard load your stream anymore? It just doesn't load it. Is the dashboard broken or something? Yeah, I literally have to have my stream on a new tab because dashboard just doesn't show it. You know, call me insane. Like, call me insane, bro. Alright, guys. Maybe this will work now. Hey guys, AI Jesus. Fuck's sake, man. Alright, who is this? Let's rate them. Let's see who this goofy goober is. Cool. I'll start with it, I guess. Well, see you guys.